Welcome everyone to the DC Beer Show. We are at DC Beer across social media. Jordan, what are you drinking this lovely evening?
Good, sir. I'm still in the Pacific Northwest, at least in spirit. I'm having a Reuben's Pale Ale. I mix it up a bit. So yeah, just enjoying a pale ale today. So it's been a beautiful week thus far. No tornado watches today or this week. All is well. Queen Bee, what are you having tonight?
On this not even like summery night, it's 73 degrees. It's brilliant. Oh my gosh. I am drinking Good Neighbors Lager. And Good Neighbors Lager is a collaboration beer between Denizens and Brooklyn's Finest, which I love both of those places. I sat down with Julie actually last week, chatted with Julie for a bit, took some photos and such. And she talked about this lager and how both Brooklyn's Finest and Denizens are turning 10 and how they decided to celebrate together by brewing a lager beer, a Dortmunder export lager, 6%. It's beautiful. It is brilliant. I might have consumed 3 of them during the time that I was at Denizens last week. So I think this is my last can until I can pick up another can. So make sure you guys check out the Denizens 10-year anniversary party this Saturday, tomorrow. Mr. Stein, what are you drinking?
I am having a do or die Irish style dry stout. It is a dynamite beer. I feel like the Irish dry stout is to the Irish what the Destica or the 10 are to the Czechs. You see there's a 10% lager in Czechia, which is 4%. And this here is a 3.6% ABV dry stout, packed full of flavor. Just enough roast to let you know you're not drinking, let's say, a sweet stout or far drier than an imperial stout. It's just wonderful. And Capital Weather Gang told us this is the best day of the week for DC weather.
It's incredible.
So, yeah, I saw my friend Julie from the brew shop, and as she says, every day is stout and porter day if you try hard enough. So today I'm giving it my best and enjoying this dry stout.
So we've got a pale ale, a Dortmunder style lager, and a stout. I'm going to add a 4th style to that. I have here Old Mecklenburg's French style Saison. They're a brewery out of North Carolina. Stein gifted me a can a while back, and I really liked it. And so I had a friend driving up and said, "Hey, do you want anything?" And I said, yes, I would actually like a 4-pack of that Saison, please. Just like a delightful under 6% clean Saison for a lovely day before it gets to be 90 degrees and disgusting. And, we all drink Campari and soda and Senate, session IPAs. Figure just,
Jake,
a lovely beer. If you're down there, check them out.
So glad to hear your friend brought you a fresh Saison from Old Meck, as we call Old Mecklenburg in Carolina. And you didn't hold on to the one that I brought you from July 2023. I had an oh shit moment when you said that. So thank you. Hashtag drink it fresh, drink it now.
I want to talk to you for a second. I need to tell you how good of a time I had at Tiny Beer Fest on Sunday. And I was so excited to go. The weather was beautiful. But I'm also sad that you guys weren't there, but I know that some of you are representing at some other places. And it feels like summer is usually a slow sort of time, but June has been crazy popping. There's so many events. And tomorrow, the 15th, there are too many really almost to list. But I feel like we should do our piece, our part, and do a little bit of promoting and tell everybody where to go. Jake.
All right, so let's start. Jordan, and I suppose Brandy too, where are you going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm going to flip the script. I'm already drinking pale ales and not IPAs. I'm going to be in Virginia. I'm going to be down with the town of Herndon, Bitter Fruit, Black Brew Movement, and a number of other awesome and amazing local and Black-owned breweries will be participating in a Juneteenth beer festival of sorts. So I'll be down there and really looking forward to just kind of commemorating the event, but also this is the inaugural Juneteenth event for the town of Herndon. So really looking forward to that. I know it's going to be a great time. There's going to be some awesome beer. And, DC beer will be in full effect, but we'll also have Eye of the Beholder in full effect as well. So got a couple of other things. We're doing our best to cover all the things that are happening. But Brandy, I know you're kind of splitting your Saturday up. What do you all have going on tomorrow?
Well, obviously Denizens 10-year anniversary, and out at Dynasty, there's like this cool old nice car show going on, which sounds, I didn't even like cars, but it sounds kind of fun. And I know like there's so many other events going on. I'm like, my brain is like fried right now. Jake, do you have, what's the other one that I'm missing?
So Dynasty's Loudon neighbor and Fabio Garcia, Dynasty Brewer co-owner, previous employer Lost Rhino, is turning 13.
Oh.
Crooked Run.
Mieza's 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, like we're not even done with Loudon. Crooked Run is turning 11. Old Ox is turning 10. Mieza's turning 1. Our good friend Judy Neff, who we saw at the excellent Brandy hosted event at Other Half in March, Checker Spot, I think, turns 7, and they're in their new digs, thanks to
which is gorgeous.
Sam Adams grant. Yeah, which is gorgeous. You should get out there. We already mentioned Denizens, and then of course the weekend after, right? So we've got 6 anniversaries plus Juneteenth, plus the car show at Dynasty, and then the weekend after, we've got Third Hill's anniversary, the 22nd, and Manor Hill turns 9 on the 22nd also. And so I feel like there isn't enough, there's not enough DC beer to be out and about covering all of these. Like, I'm going to get to Denizens, but I don't think I can, I don't know how you get hit all these Loudon events. I'd love to be at Mieza, obviously, but
I'm wondering, Jordan, are you going to have the time traveling device ready by... I know you were working on it all year last year. Is it still in prototype, or can we time travel yet?
Yeah, well, I have a beta, but it's, I make no promises of what period you'll be traveling to. So we just might not test it for this time. We'll keep it for the fall.
I mean, your girl somehow is always at every place at the same time, but this weekend I can't do it. So I'm summoning help. I'm putting up the bat signal. So all of our DC Beer friends and family, we can't be at everything, but we desperately hope that you show up and give love and support our local breweries and friends. So,
wherever you are, spread that DC Beer love around. If we were in Baltimore, we'd be seeing our friend Judy Neff at Checker Spot. If we were in Alexandria, we'd be seeing our friends at Mieza. We will be in Herndon for the Juneteenth celebration. And I just have to say, there are some common threads here. Old Ox turning 10 out in Virginia, but then both Denizens, Riverdale, Maryland, and Brookland's finest, DC proper, all turning 10. It's remarkable. Julie Verratti of Denizens told us it's so infrequent that small businesses, who are the backbone of the American entrepreneurial economy, make no mistake about it, if they turn 5, it's amazing. Turning 10 is phenomenal. So we give massive shout out to them. And I just have to share a little tidbit. So for the Juneteenth, what's being billed as the Juneteenth Brew-balee, play on words on Jubilee, I assume, 2024, a culture and beer fest. So our friends at Black Brew Movement have been instrumental. We've had them on the show before. Black Brew Movement and Bitter Fruit Brewing, Northern Virginia's sole Black-owned brewery, are also going to see Black-owned breweries from D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And one of those, of course, is Liquid Intrusion. I have to give a massive shout out to Liquid Intrusion because they were at Dynasty for the brewing of this beer. And Fabio was just like, man, I like Andrew and Jasmine are incredible. They have their act together. They knew exactly the moves to be made with this farmhouse beer that's being released, the Saison, light, spritzy, fruity, effervescent. It sounds like a wonderful beer. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And we are so excited for the Juneteenth Brew-balee 2024 Culture and Beer Fest.
So I want to have pickles right now. I love pickle beer. I love all things fermented. And Mike Stein and I just had a lovely interview with Mike Pawley and Jinson Chan of Sojourn Fermentory. And I think you guys are going to really want to listen to this, because after you listen to how amazing this is, you're going to want to go visit. So open your listening ears.
Open your listening ears. Listen to a man who finally got a brewery to name a beer, Asian Glow. Take it away, Brandy.
I'm so thrilled to have two amazing guests. And one of them I've known for many, many years. And I'm sure you know this person as well. You've probably seen him at literally all of the beer events. He's friends with all of the beer people. And the person that I'm speaking of is Jinson. Everyone knows Jinson. Jinson is joining us tonight with his co-owner, Michael Pawley, and the two of them are starting a new brewery together, and we have them on to discuss this. Hello, guys. Welcome.
Hey, hello. Thanks for having us.
Hey, Brandy. Thanks for having us.
Mike Stein is joining us for this interview as well, so we're tag teaming, which is lovely. So let's get started.
You're too kind, Brandy. Let's get into it. Jinson Chan, Michael Pawley, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you. Jinson, why don't you start us off? Tell us a little bit about Sojourn Fermentory. What is it? Where's it going to be? What's happening with it?
First of all, thanks for having us. We are so honored to be here on this show. I've been listening to your podcast for a long time and really enjoy whatever you guys doing. Love it. Sojourn Fermentory is a project that Mike Pawley and I and Scott Osborne, two of us co-founded this project. I want to say probably like 3 years ago. And the idea is really simple, right? We want to create a space where we have beer and experience. And we want to bring everybody together, enjoy the beer, and have conversation and build relationship at the space that we provided. And something very, very simple. And this is based on, many years of my experience at high side, how we curate the beer and also create experience that people enjoy. And then Mike, he also is a very, very talented brewer. He created a lot of good beer, and I've had challenged him with many, many years with different difficult beer to make, and he always hit a home run every single time. So Sojourn Fermentory is really something that we love to put all our experience together, and hope that everybody can be there. Food and beer and the whole environment. You can sit down and enjoy it. And it's going to be in Suffolk, Virginia. It's very close by to 64 and 17. So you ever go out to Outer Bank, it's probably like a 5-minute detour for you to stop by to grab some beer and some food, and maybe get a whole case of beer and bring to your beach house and enjoy it.
Oh, it sounds terrible, Jinson. Sign me up. Where do I sign up? So you're going to get a bunch of Virginia Beach and Navy people, because, Navy's right there. So you're going to be slammed. I sadly haven't been to Virginia Beach and since they've had breweries there. So I am due for a visit, and I'm going to choose the best time and go when you guys open, which is going to be when, Michael?
So right now we're targeting the end of July. So the last week of July is going to be our grand opening. And so we're really looking forward to that.
It's my birthday month, so thanks for the birthday present, everybody. So how did this idea come about? Like, who did Jinson go to Mike, or Mike go to Jinson, or was this like, do you guys like wake up and have the same dream and you just texted each other and said, guys, I just had the craziest dream, and you said, me too. How did this happen?
So Jinson and I were talking, and, I was kind of at a crossroads of things, and Jinson was like, well, instead of moving to another job, why don't you start your own thing and make it happen and do that? And I was like, well, that'd be great, but, there's a lot of hurdles to that. And Jinson basically was like, well, I'll help you through those hurdles, help you figure out solutions and make that happen. And so, me and my other good friend, Scott Osborne, I always kind of had this dream of doing that. But, it's a lot of an undertaking and there's a lot of like unknown unknowns. And so, it was kind of Jinson that was like, you got to conquer your fear. You have to go through that. And so, yeah, you really spurred me on and believed in me and, would talk me up and blow enough smoke where I believed it. And, here we are. So.
I mean, look at Jinson just being the motivator for everybody and being everyone's, cheerleader. Yes, Jinson. Oh my gosh. And anyone who knows Jinson knows that this is how he is. So that's fantastic to hear. I love that story.
Well, I mean, honestly, when I talk to Mike about this, it's like I basically asked him like, what else do you need to prove on your resume? Like you have this amazing resume already. What else do you need to add on to it? And why not do something on your own? And he always had this idea about doing something his own. And all I'm really trying to do is just kind of like provide help for him to start, making his dream come true. And the other part of it is also a little bit selfish of mine. Originally, I was, thinking about for hindsight, where my craft beer bar is, started in 2018. And the business plan is always called for after 2 years, we're going to open a second location and maybe a third location, concept like that. Obviously, 2 years later is 2020. And that's right where the pandemic happened. So basically the project was on hold and give me more time to think about it. And then, talk to Mike a lot during that time as well. And at the end, we figure instead of open a second location, why not we just open a brewery and create this whole experience that I couldn't provide currently at Highside, right? Because we don't brew our own beer. So having Mike partner up and we can brew our own beer and create a whole new experience. That was kind of like the whole story, pretty much.
That's super exciting. I want to hear a little more of the story. As we were talking with you, Mike Pawley, at the start, you had mentioned earlier on in your career getting onboarded and being flown to Austria to study brewing. And of course, Austria is famous for pastry stouts with toasted almond. They really love their 10 to 12% imperial stouts. No, but I'm kidding. But take us from that all the way back there. Most recently, I've seen your beer at Blue Jacket, where there's not one but two different stouts, both barrel aged, one with the sort of pastry stout treatment, one straight out of, I believe it was bourbon cask. So tell me a little bit about the beers you're making now and how far you've come in your journey as a brewer.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting journey. I started off making just multi-step decoction lagers at a time where there was no place in the market for that, which was fun and interesting to working at Cigar City and working under, Jock Pringle and Wayne and those guys, which hats off, I don't know if you guys know much about Wayne, but really he set in motion a lot of what's super popular in terms of like rethinking what IPAs were, using ingredients that were non-traditional. And so, that was an interesting kind of ruffle to add to it. And then I kind of came up here in more of a leadership role, working at Commonwealth and, just building there and kind of riffing out all those ideas. So, yeah, so it's been quite the journey along the way. And I worked at different breweries as well. And, but now it's really cool because, I've gone through all these different experiences and grown and learned. And even with the breweries that we've done beers with, we actually also did a lager with Blue Jacket, Austrian Märzen, which is probably one of the nearest and dearest collabs we've done. And so going back to those Blue Jacket beers in particular, we did do two different stouts, but we were very intentional to do more of like a Wayne Wamble's, OG Cigar City inspired beer, like base beer. And with that, there was one or two barrels within the barrels that they laid down that were exceptional. And so hats off to Greg and those guys for, my recommendation was, can we just do like those couple barrels as like the barrel select version? And so, and they did, and then we also did the treatment version as well. And, the thought process behind that was just to, again, riff on that idea of doing culinary inspired, right?
So just for clarity for the listenership, there are 2 beers on offer at Blue Jacket right now. There is Before Midnight, the barrel-aged Imperial Stout, and then there's Dolphin Named Ace. And Dolphin Named Ace is a bourbon-aged stout infused with fresh hazelnuts, cacao nibs, and vanilla beans. And they're both wonderful. They're both exclusively in bottles at Blue Jacket if you're interested to try some of the Sojourn beer now.
That's exciting. Are you excited, Michael Pawley? Sorry, there are 2 mics on the recording. To get back into lager because, I'm assuming when you were working for Cigar City, which is such a cool thing to have on your resume because everyone loves Cigar City, and even Commonwealth, the presence of lager has had a resurrection, and it's so exciting for all of us, regular old folk beer drinkers. So, yes.
Yeah. So with that, for me personally, I've always loved lager beer, going to Austria, things like that. Even my beer journey started with English beer and lagers, it wasn't these big crazy IPAs or anything like that. Even I remember when I took the job at Cigar City, it was really tough, even just to put back highlights. I was used to beer being that bitter, right? But I took the job knowing I was going to learn and grow, right? But so yeah, but for me, if I had to really sum it up, I'm still the same old guy who really enjoys making very technically complicated but clean lagers, and then English beer, which is also a very interesting and complicated expression. There's a lot of yeast-driven flavor, and then it takes kind of a lot of restraint to balance those beers out really well. And then, I really have a strong love for Belgian beer as well. So if I had to pick 3, those are them.
I want to know where the name came from. Where did Sojourn Fermentory, who came up? How did that process go about? You guys are laughing. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Okay.
Yeah. So naming a brewery is a very, very difficult thing. There are 10,000 names out there. So, there's a lot of crossing things off the list. But, the term sojourn basically means to dwell or stay for a while. And so, we just want to create a space for people to hang out in the community and foster community. So far we've talked a lot about beer as an object, but beer is more, for me, it's more of an experience, when you go to Austria or Czech Republic and you drink beer, right? And you see people sit down at Stammtisch, and they're like, the only comment on the beer is, oh, the beer's really good today. Or, oh, it seems a little off. And then they continue to drink their beer and order another one. And, it's not a social experiment of, oh, I get this, I get that, and dissecting things. I don't mean that belittling to anyone. That's fun. But for me, it's beer is part of the culture and the experience. It's a place where you dwell and you hang out and you meet your friends and you celebrate life together. So yeah, that's kind of how we run this. Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
The fermentory came from the fact that, we have a very big space and we wanted to offer beer and cider. And then for food, we want to do something with fermentation elements as well. So we talked about a lot of different things, but the one that clicked the most was to do Roman style pizza. So we brought that in, and that requires a 3+ day fermentation on the dough, or at least our process does. But again, that riffs off the same idea of long slow fermentations like the lagers, and just bringing that to the forefront. So.
Jinson is incredible over at Highside, because every time I go, I get the pickles that are available there, and a pickleback. This pickle brine is incredible. So as long as that's available at Sojourn, I think everyone's going to be super happy on top of the beer. Yes.
Our goal is to do all things fermented, right? So that's why we name it Fermentory. Is based on brewing or beer company, because we would like to experiment with all kind of fermentation if possible. And I think, people like that. And as simple as a pickle, and people draw to it, and there are so many use of it. And I think it's created a very interesting experience.
I agree. I personally love pickles and all things fermented. So I know not
Right.
everyone does, but I do. So you say the space is going to be huge. And so what should people expect when they come to visit at the end of July?
To be specific, our space is 9,248 square feet.
Jeez.
And I mean, we have probably about 50% of that will be production, right?
Okay.
And then plus a full kitchen there as well. And we kind of very thoughtfully divide the space out for family friendly area where, people who have kids can come in and they have I want to call it a safe space for them. And then we also have a space where we call it an indoor beer garden, because we open up the garage door, it connected to an outdoor space, like a patio. So we call it indoor-outdoor beer garden. It's going to be huge. And because we have like an outdoor space that has like a stage where you can perform like live music there. And we also can host some community events at the space there. And then we have this ice well. We're going to put all the glassware to the temperature same as the beer. So if you just want to hang out with your happy hour, we got maybe 2 or 3 TV there. You can watch some sport, hang out with your friends, or if your company have like happy hour you want to host your staff, we have a space for that as well. So the space is huge, and we kind of like cater it to different demographic and be inclusive with all kind of people who want to enjoy their life a little bit.
That's brilliant. I love that. It sounds incredible. I can't wait to visit.
Any parting things the DC Beer listenership should know before we let you go, Jinson or Michael?
Yeah, we're excited to, host you guys when you're driving through, and please be on the lookout. If you see me there, definitely say hi. A big thing for me is, building community and making time for people, making time to share beer. And so, I'll be the one who's pretty much always there. So yeah, we even have like a little Stein pitch table that if you see me sitting there, definitely come hang out.
I will definitely do that. Well, you guys heard it here on DC Beer. Michael, Pawley, and Jinson are opening a fermentory. So all you pickle lovers, all you pizza lovers, all you beer lovers, check lagers. We're so excited, and I know Mike Stein is excited. So we're gonna have to take a little road trip. What do you think, Mike?
I'm ready. DC Beer on location. Sojourn Fermentory. Let's go.
Well, again, like we are planning to open in end of July. If you ever plan to trip down in the south in Suffolk, just stop by.
Thank you guys for having us. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mike Stein and Brandy. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to Sojourn. All right. Yeah, there's a lot out there. I feel like we should deputize all of the listeners. Take pictures, tag us in stuff, send us stuff on IG so that we can make an epic reel following all of these anniversaries, parties, celebrations.
And make sure you come visit us for our June beer share at Silver Branch in Silver Spring, the original Silver Branch. I want to see your beautiful faces and all the lovely beer you bring. And we got to build this community one little person at a time.
Well said. That'll be Sunday, the 23rd, 2 to 5. RSVP is up on Eventbrite. You will see former podcast guest and perhaps future podcast guest Mike Earl there, I hope, fingers crossed, which means that you'll probably see some of the DC Beer crew drinking Rauch beer, I hope, fingers crossed.
All right. I love you all. I'll see you very soon. Come drink beer things with us. And if you're not with us, tag us. We want to see all the things, right? Right, everybody?
Right.
Second and third, that, yep.
At dcbeer.com, lots of new articles for you, lots of events in the events calendar, breweries, bars, there could be more. You could submit them, dcbeer.com/events. We're at dcbeer on the socials. All right, be well, everybody.